Hi, this piece has no title because it's still being written. Probably not unlike you, I find myself in a time and situation in which I don't recognize myself. And you might think that's an odd thing, or not. I can't manage your half of the relationship in this regard. But I've always been kind of obsessed with self-knowledge, self-awareness, investigating the question of who I am. And, it's funny how we go about the business of doing that. Who here has ever passed a mirror and looked into it and not recognized the person that was looking back at them, right? It's you. It's the mirror. The mirror doesn't lie. Might fib on occasion, but it doesn't outright lie. Although I am moved to remember an episode in which I just moved to Los Angeles, and I was sitting in a restaurant with my girlfriend at the time, and she got up to go to the restroom, and when she did, I noticed behind her a guy a few tables over. He looked vaguely familiar, and I remember looking at him and going, that guy's not ugly, but he gives it a run for its money. Well, it turns out there was a wall of mirrors behind the counter, the booth we were sitting in, and I wasn't aware that. I thought I was just looking into another part of the restaurant. And the person I spied in the mirror was actually me, unbeknownst to me, which was a singular experience because, like I said, anytime you look in a mirror, you expect to see yourself. And when you don't, you have an objectivity about yourself that you rarely get to see or experience. And in that moment, I was like, wow, okay. And I kind of feel that way now, although my dissonance doesn't come from looking in a mirror and not seeing or recognizing who I am, but in just my day-to-day life. I don't know about you, but every day I wake up and I'm really enamored of sleep lately. I really enjoy dreaming. For nothing else, it provides a respite from reality. And I wake up and I lay there and I'm like reconciling my dream state with the coming day. A day that is as blank a slate as I've ever confronted. I don't have a job. I don't have any responsibilities. I live essentially by myself. I have a roommate, but our contact is glancing. So it's just me. And I never realized how dependent my sense of self was on those around me, the interactions I had with those people, because now those interactions are darn near non-existent. You go to the store, you meet the occasional friend for a cup of coffee in a park somewhere. But the day-to-day friction, the day-to-day interaction that we all experienced, and to a much greater extent don't today, is gone, leaving me feeling like a tree falling in my own forest, wondering if there's going to be a sound when I hit the ground, if I'm the only person there to hear it. Anyway, so you ask yourself, who do you want to be? If you don't know who you are right now, are you in flux? Are you on the way to becoming somebody else? And I would say you're always on the way to becoming somebody else. I certainly am. I just don't know who that person is. What I do know is that at some point this is going to end, this virus, this plague, this pandemic. And we'll put it in our rearview mirror and look at it and go, oh yeah, look at that. That's who I was then. Who am I now? And the truth of the matter is, I still don't know. But I'm well aware of the fact that sitting here talking to you will help to find that. Hopefully for the better. Stay healthy. See you down the road.